You're watching a wrap of the week's main news stories. Another potential scandal rocked the Mandela family this week. Winnie Madikizela-Mandela filed papers at the High Court in Mthatha to lay a claim to the Qunu family home. Madikizela-Mandela says the house belongs to her in terms of customary law, and Mandela always agreed it should be hers.
In his will, Nelson Mandela left the Qunu property to the NRM Family Trust. He wanted the trust to, quote, administer the Qunu property for the benefit of the Mandela family and my third wife and her two children, Malengane Mashel and Josina Mashel. The Qunu property should be used by my family in perpetuity in order to preserve the unity of the Mandela family. But his ex-wife, Winnie Madikizela-Mandela, says the Qunu property belongs to her. She's now instructed her lawyers to go to court to settle the matter once and for all.
We seek to say to what extent are their rights, particularly in terms of the Constitution, are being protected. Particularly those women who were married under customary law or Christian law. Now when they acquire properties during those marriages, to what extent do they have rights over those properties? To what extent can they part with those properties?
In August, Madikizela-Mandela wrote to the executors of her ex-husband's estate, saying she wants control of the Qunu property because she obtained it while Nelson Mandela was still in prison. Qunu, Johannesburg.
Madikizela-Mandela's affidavit makes for explosive reading. Apart from laying claim to the Qunu property, she also alleges her divorce was fraudulent and says the marriage certificate included in her divorce papers were forged. Her statements have upset the Abatembu royal house.
In court papers, Winnie Madikizela-Mandela says the court that dissolved her marriage was misled, as it was presented with a marriage certificate issued in terms of Act 21 of 1978, yet the couple got married in June 1958. She says she remained Madiba's wife and could visit Qunu even after the divorce without being chased away. A member of the Abatembu royal house was quoted in a Daily Dispatch report on Thursday, saying the Mandela family was shocked to see Madikizela-Mandela wearing black, mourning the death of Madiba.
In fact, I can just tell you straightforward that it was not in line with our custom.
As for her claim on the Qunu property, Mthatha is quoted saying she is driven by greed and has no claim. But this differs to what we were previously told by the custodian of the Abatembu traditions and customs.
Customarily, when the man is the one who instigates the divorce, that divorce is in many cases null and void.
The Abatembu royal house is clearly divided on this matter. Meanwhile, Madikizela-Mandela's lawyer has told ENCA that he plans to institute legal action against anyone who insults her. Qunu, Johannesburg.
Thursday was World Food Day, and the plight of the poor in South Africa came into the spotlight. International charity Oxfam says millions of South Africans go to bed hungry every night, and government needs to introduce laws that will prevent hunger. Research has shown that 1 in 4 South Africans regularly goes without food, while around 15 million people are on the verge of hunger.
25-year-old Elzetta Furges wakes up hungry every morning. She lives with her sister, aunt and their 3 children, surviving on only 10 rand a day. She spends 10 rand on a small packet of rice and potatoes. It's all this family of 6 will eat for the whole day.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It's very stressful, yeah, but it's especially when your child have to go to school. But I know the relief for me is when my child goes to school, they give food there at school. He don't stay hungry the whole day. But like this morning, he's angry at me. Don't even say bye, Mom, I'm going to school now because he's hungry.
International NGO Oxfam says government needs to do more to prevent hunger and bridge the vast gap between rich and poor.
The richest 10% of the population spend around 2,500 rands a month on food, yet the poorest 25% of the population spend around 700 rands on food.
So while this family eats their meal of starch, they are already worried where they'll get the money to buy their next meal. Sandy McCowan, Jacksonville, Eastern Cape.
The Ebola pandemic continues to make news around the world. It's estimated that over 4,500 people have already died. South African doctors are among those involved in the relief efforts in the worst-hit countries in West Africa. They came home this week and shared their experiences. Some of them had to make heartbreaking decisions.
MSF says the virus can be contained quite easily by following basic steps to prevent its spread. But there are just not enough beds available for those infected.
To manage Ebola is not rocket science. It's very, very basic infection control, and it's very, very basic protection of healthcare staff.
This doctor says she had some very difficult decisions to make in Sierra Leone to protect her health. And many of those decisions went against her ethics as a doctor. She says that she felt like a passenger on the Titanic that is Sierra Leone.
As a team, we had to make the decision that we were no longer going to resuscitate any children besides neonates, because the risk of body fluid exposure and the possible benefits were just didn't weigh up. I've had a situation where I was expecting one child to be dropped off at our units, opened the ambulance, and there were 2 kids. And due to logistical reasons, I could take one.
MSF says Ebola is also causing other deaths, as pregnant women and other patients die, as the risk is too high for doctors to perform C-sections and other operations. The organization also says it is tired of empty promises which make no difference on the ground. Carla Kutsia, Johannesburg.
And after all the heavy news of the past week, we have to leave you with a smile. ENCA's late-night news team has done it again. The satirical news show has been nominated for yet another coveted Emmy Award in the United States.
We were nominated with the Best International Comedy Show. We're nominated against shows from Australia, Belgium, the Netherlands, Brazil, and we
Turkey.
Turkey. I didn't see Turkey, but Turkey as well. They had an uprising there. What we also want to say is that the last year, the people who were nominated, our peers from last year, they didn't seem to make it this year. See, we were the only ones who were nominated last year and this year.
Late Night News plays on South Africa's ever-changing politics with a dash of social satire thrown in by a crew of crazy comics.
Also can acknowledge the team that makes LNN as a whole bunch of people.
I make this thing alone.
Well, there, you see, I don't even know why I'm here. You know, they don't even pay me for this thing. But yeah, there's a whole team that makes the show, and we're very grateful to Tulma Donzela, Jacob Zuma, the EFF for once again making us be recognized by the International Television Academy.
The LNN team will have to wait until November 24th to see if they'll scoop the award this time around. Sibongile Mngani Mpolweni, Johannesburg.
And that's the end of this week's show. Join us again next weekend to catch up on the week's big stories. Until then, take care and have a great week.